on time, brother. Sit down.
See you again.
Oh man, I'm feeling. Daniel, if you throw the thumbs up at some point, it's a good thing for this. All right. Instead of pitching, the facilitating. I think I'm feeling it because everybody made a drive for an hour and 30 minutes.
Amazing. Well, it's good actually.
You've seen me in action. If you would have been my camera,
it's totally different, but it's okay. I can possibly.
I think that's it. I'm gonna close that door now. Yeah.
Want to get started?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, welcome everyone to the IE Mastermind. My name is Brianna Prince. I am the CEO and founder of TrueLeg, which is a life insurance agency. I always get super excited to actually come here and network with you guys because I feel like it's my time to actually connect with other like-minded people and other business owners. So super happy to be here and to be a part of your guys' world. I don't know if there's anything specific that I should be going over, but I'm going to go ahead and bring up Jesse, the VP of the IE Mastermind.
Thank you. You're fine. All right, round of applause for Brianna Prince. Listen, today the energy is right here today. All of us we paid the price. How many of you drove at least an hour, 2 hours in traffic, bumper to bumper?
2 hours.
How many of you drove by yourself in the car?
Yeah.
Listen, guys, that's a heck of a drive to do by yourself. And this is why I believe in business partnerships. Nick and I drove, we're cruising, and at least we're there side by side talking, and it was amazing, you know. At least he drove, because I was falling asleep, man. I wouldn't have made that drive, you know. But I acknowledge everybody for making that sacrifice and being here, specifically because you could have been operating in your business on a Thursday right now, right? Business is picking up for everybody, which is good, but this is important. One of the things I like to say is stick to what works. Keep the main thing the main thing. So when you develop certain disciplines and strategic habits that start working, don't compromise not doing those, because when you do, the flow of business stops, right? And a lot of people struggle with that. So thank you for being here. So welcome to the IE Mastermind, where ideas turn to empires, and we'll get to it. So one of today's sponsor, we don't have a sponsor today, but that's all right. It's the IE Mastermind, but we do have a sponsor. Daniel brought us some chips. Hey, listen, round of applause to Daniel. He made it happen. The sponsor, chips count and everything. But the other sponsor, our business partner, is Brother Allen, and this is his location. Give it up to John, who's here working overtime. He's currently in a Zoom meeting, but yet he was here just specifically to open this up for us, you know. So thank you for that. So ideas to empire, right? Our network determines our network and our net worth is determined by our network. This is very important because how many of you have ever networked with people outside of this mastermind and it leads nowhere, right? It's like it's a lot of wasted conversations. It's a lot of wasted time, and let's keep it real, wasted time. That's the most important thing that we have in this life today, our time, right? So you get to surround yourself with growth-minded, inspired people. Share your big ideas. Learn from highly successful business owners. How many of you were on the Tuesday call, this past Tuesday call? Phenomenal stuff. If you weren't there, you missed out. We had Tim right here share a bunch of insight. I did a blitz. We're going to start calling those a hot chair, because literally I'm just asking question after question after question, yet he kept up with the answers, and we learned a lot about his business, and he's always operating from abundance. And that's one of the things that Nick and I prioritize when we bring in members. Hey, just show up. Not just showing up and sitting down, but show up and share what's working for you, because we could all learn from everybody. See, oftentimes people drink the Kool-Aid, where they think they're too cool to learn new strategies. They think they're too cool to drive 2 hours to a meeting, right? But every time we come here, I don't know about you, but I always get so much value and I feel so refreshed. And there's no other place that I would rather be than with you guys here in the trenches. And today, Brianna's literally seen my day's worth, you know, like networking and stuff. So amazing to have people like that. So this community, as you can see, one of the things that we value is health. Health is wealth. The other thing that we value is spending time together, breaking bread. I want to thank everybody that showed up to the gala. This is a major project for us, and the next one that we have is the Infinite Growth Expo. How many of you have either gotten a call from one of us three, which we also have Sherry, or already bought your ticket? Raise your hand. Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And there's no coincidence to the people that are here, the people that already bought in. here you go, I'm signing up, I'm gonna continue supporting. And the beautiful thing about this is that Juan, who's gonna be one of the speakers today, he's somebody that bought into the vision of Nick and I. We met him in July, I believe, right, at Money Is, an investment that Nick did. And now he's lost over 60 pounds, in the best shape of his life, and he's going to continue being in the best shape of his life. And he actually is going to meet with Dr. Jason, who's also part of the community. We have a doctor part of this, you know? So it's very important, guys. If you need any resource, that's what the community here is for, right? It's an alliance, literally. So some of the community wins, we're going to go around the table since it's a smaller group right now, and just share some of the wins. Talk about something that's happened from the last meeting to now, what's working for you right now. So what's one of your wins that you would like to share?
I think this is going to be like an interesting win, but I lost out on a transaction on Monday. I lost another lender for rate, and the win for me is that I held my ground because I know my value, and I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like,
Round of applause. Give Brianna her haters. That's a win because, listen, you want to work with people that see the value in you, right? Not that just want to treat you for nickel and dime you. And he's in the industry where that's always going to be the case. But he's operating from abundance. Why would he want to work with those type of people anyways, right? They diminish his value. He diminishes his value by saying yes to that because he's triggering the scarcity mindset. Oh, let me take this extra deal. And that's not good. It's a low frequency vibration. Today he might get 10 deals out of all of us here. We don't know, right? But he showed up. Go ahead, sir. Share one of your wins.
One of the wins I would say from the last meeting from here is the power of networking. That is like huge, and even small connections of people that we know. Our communities are a lot smaller than we realize when we look at it more as a community, as a collective of individuals, all of us. So that was one thing I've really learned a lot. That was the networking part and just planting seeds here and there, conversations, reaching out, just being approachable and vice versa. And just being open to the possibilities of what's out there.
And this is his third meeting that he shows up to. He showed up to the first one that we had here a month ago. You showed up to the other one in Rancho, now you showed up here. So round of applause for somebody who's like committed. We have a lot of new people here. Also Daniel here who recently joined in, and he himself is showing up to every single meeting, every single call too on Tuesday. So thank you for that. Go ahead.
Community wins for me. I mean, I'm a new contractor, just got my license this year, right? So community wins has just been, I guess, chipping away at all the beginning stages of opening a company and a business, and now seeing like the reward of that and work starting to flow in, and like the calendar's starting to fill up pretty quick. So it's just the chipping away of being a new company and getting started, and now being like, all right, cool, now the work's starting to flow in.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well, today I had the opportunity to go to Good Morning Corona event. Yeah, it was fantastic and super exciting. So I met a lot of cool people, and I'm super excited to further connect with them and possibly join the chamber.
Oh, that's
Nice,
great.
nice. So for me, it's actually it's a win, an indirect win. So just yesterday, we got approved through the Department of Real Estate for the new brokerage. A lot of you know I had a brokerage before. Kind of left that behind to the old partner to pursue real estate investing, but the new brokerage is under my wife's name, and this is pretty cool because this is a shout out to the community because we were at Rancho Cucamonga last week. So since the new brokerage got approved and all of these people are now asking my wife questions, my wife's coming to me and saying, why are people asking me questions? Like, because that's who you are. So she's starting to identify as somebody who can actually make a difference for people now. So for me, that's the real win, is having my wife change her identity for who she is for herself. And and that's because of you guys last week and because of just what's been going on in our lives. So massive win for us. So thank you guys.
That's a huge win. Round of applause. You felt that one, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Well, first of all, I'm the newest member of IE Mastermind. It's a win-win for me. That's a blessing. I'm really grateful for that. On the business approach, as you guys remember, we went on the phone a couple of days ago. I told you I had to, cancel my meeting online from Brazil to be with you guys. But actually, they kind of like met with me on the next morning, and we closed the deal with 30 new people in my network.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's gonna take about 60 days because we have elections back in Brazil. Give or take about 60 days, but we wrap it up to 30 people, which is a big win for me to go over there and just spread my wings up there.
Nice.
How many of you want to take your business globally? How many of you have not even considered that? But in this table here, that's ideas start triggering like, oh, wait a minute, why am I thinking so small regionally when this is something so good that could go global, right? So thank you for sharing that. Juan?
One win is obviously being here today.
Yeah,
That's a win for me. Thanks for having me here, guys. A second win would be just like he said, just being here, just being present. I got a call. Hey, we're gonna keep giving you another project that I wasn't even expecting, and they're just like funneling in, and
Is that why you were outside right now?
that, and I was just reviewing all my documentation, so for the presentation. So yeah, that's a win for me. Just projects are starting to flow in. The start of the year was a little slow, and now it's starting to ramp up. So I gotta man up and put some people in line.
Yeah,
Crack the whip.
Win for me is I'm very convicted about the Infinite Growth Expo and what it could do for people. So having conversations with, let's say, beginner business owners, or there was this lady, she is the VP of a home health agency, and she's jumping ship to start her own. And just inspiring people on the phone and realizing that event can change their life, that's a big win for me, because it kind of fulfills my soul knowing that, by getting them there, it's going to be a start to something amazing. So that's a win for me.
That's good.
Awesome.
For me, my win is having everybody here operating at this level of frequency, right? So having surrounding myself with people that are like, as soon as they start talking to me, could level up. That's a win for me, and that came from a breakthrough that I recently had. And it's at a cost of having a heart for people. So I don't know if you guys could relate. Sometimes you just want to help the world, but it's like, hey, you need to prioritize and putting things in categories. So for me, I realized that I was fraternalizing a lot with clients and also with people that I minister on a faith-based level, which led then me to be like, oh, they see me as equal. Not to say that I'm better than them, but also instead of spending so much time with these people, let me focus on having conversations with Tim. Let me focus on having more conversations with Juan, with Daniel. What that's done for me now, it's like brought me to the next level. And now I'm having like the high level conversations yet again. And the word is chispa. Okay, I brought it up, the spark. So when somebody has a spark, man, just keep it going. And that's what something is missing in people's life. And that's what the Mastermind is here for, to provide that spark for you guys. So thank you guys for sharing the wins. So we already technically did an introduction on the wins, right? Real quick, before we pass it over, how many of you are first-time guests? Nobody. How many of you are a member already, officially? How many of you plan on being a member? Cool. Listen, this Mastermind today is probably going to be one of the most powerful ones, because look at the room. We have no guests. I already told Nick, hey, listen, I don't know if you feel the energy, but I think today's the day that we dive a little bit deeper on the Mastermind. It's not going to be sales pitching here or anything. If everybody agrees at some point, and if we have time, I would like to dive deep, kind of like we had that one breakthrough session at the one time. That way, your breakthrough, our breakthroughs, whatever's going on in business, it's everybody's breakthrough, right? So without further ado, give a round of applause to the president of the IE Mastermind, Mr. Nick Pius.
One of the things I love about the Mastermind is being able to just expand our mindset of what's possible and hear different stories and different people sharing about their wins and successes. No matter if it's in the same industry as us or not, it's going to break our lid of what's possible in life. And also, it's pretty inspiring hearing people's challenges from where they were and where they are today, and what they've accomplished and what we can accomplish as well. So it's my pleasure and privilege to be able to introduce this gentleman tonight. I met him almost a year ago at Aspire, Money Is, one of these events in Fullerton. And we just connected. We decided to go in, Money Is, and make that big investment together. And it's amazing over this last year, just the change that has happened in front of my eyes in a way. Not only in his business, but his health and just vitality. So Juan has over 15 years in the construction industry. Juan's transformed BCD Industries from a startup to a powerhouse, achieving $2.5 million in revenue at his highest. Awesome, congratulations. And specializing in cell phone towers, concrete work, general construction, pretty much anything that has to do with construction industry, he can do it. His journey from breaking past that first million and now leading 12 of leading a team of about 12 was filled with lessons and resilience and growth. Juan's success is deeply rooted in his faith, his family, and a passion for helping others. It's exciting to introduce you tonight to share your insights about your journey. So,
Thank you.
Got the clickers all yours, brother.
How do you work this?
Just move that.
Just move that and then go back.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me here today. It's a pleasure for being here. I want to just say I'm really grateful for the opportunity that Nick and Jesse gave me. So as he said, I'm Juan Briseno. I'm the owner of BCD Industries. We've been in business for 7 years. Actually, 2014 is when I got this license. But I went all in 2017 because prior to that I had another business that during the economy when it went bad, I dissolved it. It went bad. I went bankrupt. So I was pretty hurt by that because it was something that I worked so hard for, and it tanked with the economy. So after 2010, I was in business about 3 years, and in 2010 I went to work for somebody. So from 2010 to 2014, I was working for somebody, but God was telling me, you need to do this again. And it was something that it was instilled in me by my father. That was one thing that he did is work hard. And as him, he was always an entrepreneur. So it instilled it in me for me to go out on my own. So that's who I am. So today I want to, this is my company. We do concrete, we do masonry, telecom. We hold 4 licenses, a general A, a general B, a concrete and masonry. And I'm also going after my electrical because that's some of the areas that I handle. But I want to talk about this right here. This is data that I pulled up, and 75% of entrepreneurs are concerned with their mental health. I was part of this 75%. Whether you were feeling stressed out and burnt out, always irritated, overweight, busy but not productive, it's almost like running in place. You're having movement, but you're not having forward acceleration. Relationship problems. This was big on mine. I've been married to my wife for about 20 years. Actually, that's why we went to Italy for 20 years. And because I was having relationship problems with these, because I was part of the 75%, our marriage was going to go to waste. Because I was so focused in the business, so I had so much tunnel vision. I was feeling overwhelmed. I had no energy. Can anybody relate to that?
Oh yeah.
That's all of us, right? So that's like, well, there's let's say we're 6 of us here. That's about how many deal with this mental health concern.
Yeah.
So this was a little example. I wanted to put this up. This was at the Infinite Growth Expo, actually.
Damn, bro.
Last year.
No way,
Yeah.
bro. Hey,
This was me.
he was there. Dude, I don't even remember you as that, bro.
Yeah. This was me, and
Oh yeah.
yeah. I know Leo for a few years.
Yeah.
So this was me, and this is me now. Just a few weeks, I've lost a little bit more because I stay consistent. But it was interesting to see because I was trying to get myself better because the people that I go to the seminars, you just see them and their energy and their frequency is on point. So I just wanted to share that. But there's something that I found a solution, which I call the Triple H system. Any wrestling fans here?
Okay.
You know who Triple H is, right? Yeah. So it's kind of business and wrestling is very similar in the fact that you have to wrestle clients. You have to wrestle yourself, mentally to get up in the morning and do the tasks that you need to. So that's how wrestling. I found this Triple H system in that way because I have to wrestle to the traffic, wrestle my employees, wrestle my clients, wrestle to get the work. So this is what the Triple H system is. But I'm gonna tell you when I decided to make a choice. It was December 5th. I was already having marital problems, right? So I went to this seminar. This seminar was out of state. So my wife was giving me a little bit of pushback, like, hey, why are you going? We're having these issues. And I felt like I needed to go. So I flew out. And on this day, there was a speaker talking. He came out, presented. He said, success is not only having financial success. It's about having relationship success. having relationship with your kids, having relationship with your spouse, because as entrepreneurs, we just tend, again, I said tunnel vision. We're so focused on the business and we forget about who we're really doing it for.
Yeah.
It's our family. So on this day, that I've heard this a lot. I've heard this multiple times, but this time it really hit me because as I was flying out, I was having these issues with my wife, and it really stuck with me. And I'm getting a little emotional, but
It's okay.
So this day, what he said, stuck with me because I was having issues and I wanted to change something. And by him saying those words, it was almost like confirmation. God was telling me, hey, you needed to be here. You needed to hear this message in the state that you were in. So I went back home. We got this project on a rooftop. And I went into an attic. I was doing an inspection on a roof. I went into the attic and it was hot. I was out of breath. I was in there, crawling. I had about this much space. And on a break, I sat down on one of the rafters and I opened up social media. And again, it's like God was telling me, hey, the guy that was sharing a message saying, I'm going to change my health because I think it's part of who I need to become. And this is, again, confirmation. And when I was starting this other business, BCD Industries, some lady at church came up to me, never saw her in my life. She came up to me and said, hey, God wants me to give you a message. You need to start your business. You need to really go out there and make a difference. And I knew that was confirmation. A couple of those incidents have happened to me where I get confirmation with God, where He speaks to me through other people. I don't know if you guys had that experience. Anybody? Yeah. So that was powerful. I was already heavy-hearted. What the speaker said on that day, I was heavy-hearted with my relationship because I was so focused on the business to grow. I was having my kids. I was neglecting my kids. I have older kids. I have a 25-year-old, a 21 that's going to be 21 years old this year, and a 17-year-old that just graduated high school. So all my kids were grown. I was a dad at 16 years old. So I've stuck with the same wife for that long.
Wow.
And so it's getting emotional.
It's good, bro.
Yeah. So this day I decided that I was gonna make a change. And after I saw the post about the gentleman sharing about his health, it's like I need to do something. I need to work on my relationships and on my health. So this is when I made a decision to start what I call the Triple H system, which is higher. Number one, higher in this order. When I hire, it's going to give me time to work on my health. That's number two.
Powerful.
When I work on my health, I'm going to have the energy to work on my home, to work on my kids, have energy to spend with them, because I was giving them the leftovers, always. I would come home so tired that I would just give them the leftovers. It's like almost if you're hungry and instead of giving a full course meal, you get the leftovers off somebody, you're not going to be full, right? And that's kind of what I was giving to my kids. And I ended up creating this Triple H system. So what this Triple H system includes, did I skip a slide? Okay, there you go. What this Triple H system is, I'm going to get into the details, but I'm going to tell you what it's done for me. It's changed my business, because now I can delegate 80% of the work and I can focus on the 20%. And it allows me to see a bigger picture, to really act like the CEO. Because right now I was working in my business as an employee and just being one of the guys out there. So I had to change my mindset and actually delegate work, because that by delegating work I could focus on the important stuff that's actually going to give me the 80%. So that was one. My health, it's helped me. Like I believe you said 60 pounds earlier. It's actually it was 60 or 50, but when from the picture it was 25. I'm actually dropped 25 pounds. But prior to that I lost another 20 pounds. It was about 50 to 45. So it's helped me better my health, because as entrepreneurs in construction, we eat whatever's out there, right? Even just being on the road, we got to eat whatever's out there. and because we got to feed ourselves, obviously. And sometimes that food, it's not healthy for us. It's better. This triple Hism has bettered my home because now I create a relationship with my kids, with my wife. I'm able to go out with her and have date nights with her. It's allowed me to connect with her because before, like I said, I've actually, I used to be with her, but I was disconnected because I was so focused on all the hats I was wearing and what I needed to do. So there was a disconnection. I was there, but I wasn't present. So it's helped me do this. This triple Hism has helped me in that aspect where it's bettered my life, my business, and my relationships. And what this is, you guys want to hear about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what this is it's the higher. And what the higher entitles is, most of the people that I used to work for companies, and the mistake that I did also, and the mistake that I've seen is that they'll create an ad really glorifying their business, their company, but it should be the other way around. You're supposed to attract employees by offering an opportunity for them to grow, what they can actually do for you as an asset. So I would place what I call a sexy ad to attract that top talent. In that ad, you would put there was one that was missed, but there was a resume, because on resume there's a resume portion that's missing here, but there was you would ask for a resume when they would show interest in your business. And most of the times now you have what AI do your resume, right? So it looks really nice. So within that resume, I would ask for a 1 minute video, of themselves, because you could see who they really are, if they could speak well, how they present themselves.
Smart.
I had an incident happen actually, where her resume, I was hiring an assistant. Her resume was perfect. I was like, wow, I need to call this girl. So I called her back, and I had that 1 minute video. And she was like a little cholita, I call her, right? She was talking like, hey, like for reals? It was funny. I was like, whoa, like I can't have this girl represent or answer the phones or anything like that. So that 1 minute video makes a difference.
That saves you.
That saves,
a lot of
yeah.
heartache.
That saves you a lot of heartache. So that's powerful.
That's so hilarious.
Oh wait,
That's smart. Like,
this is. Can you go back to the other one? Because I think this is the wrong one. Then we'll skip back. Remember the other, the first one I sent you? Because they just basically copied and pasted it.
I saw that too. I was like, wait.
So
Sorry, guys.
I had that right there would have saved me like 2 years worth of headache. Is that 1 minute video?
Yeah, 1 minute videos are powerful.
But AI's getting so good, dude. You might
Yeah.
have like an AI bot, dude. That you
I
might
know.
not even
Yeah,
touch
exactly.
And then Cholita still shows up.
Hey, fool, like.
She used to answer the phone. Thank you
Get
for
the
calling
first
Castle
one.
Realty. We'll help you out. Be like, oh no.
That one.
It's even worse when you hire like
There you go.
parents that work for you, so you can't really fire them. That 1 minute video would save you so much.
There we go. That's it.
Where'd you get that idea for the 1 minute video?
Yeah.
Just from people that networking, because again, you said networking, right?
Yeah.
The 1 minute video is powerful. You ever to show
That's
it?
actually how I got
Maybe you
on the board.
slide down, where it says,
video. Why I should be on the board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
ask ChatGPT.
What is that?
NARA, National
I don't know.
Association.
I had my assistant, not the Cholita girl, but the she transferred it over, but
You got chapters
so
and then you got like the bigger ones.
Right now, I'm switching from one to the other.
Yeah, so the board of NARA, that's what I've gotten.
It's all right, we have time, right?
Yeah, we got plenty of time. This is normal.
This is
Listen,
You're in a safe space, dude.
you're with members only, so it's like.
Yeah.
I'm a family.
This isn't one of those like, oh, we brought a bunch of new guests.
application, and I'm like,
And it,
nah,
by the way,
that
even
application
Tim
is
experienced
not-
it
I
at the
gotta
one
send
time.
it.
Remember the pizza technical
That's what I just
difficulties?
said.
What was it? What was it?
Wait, which one?
Remember when we went to the pizza spot at the same spot that you're gonna host it?
Oh
We
yeah,
went-
yeah. I couldn't get it to
Yeah,
work.
it was
and
all of a sudden he was
the
trying to
cord
play
was
this
wrong,
one
or was it-
video.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
trying to play a video and it didn't go.
I eventually just said.
Yeah, it's it.
I don't do it.
No?
It's alright. Just play the other one then.
Yeah, you'll play the other one, and I
Hey, there's a
memorize it.
whiteboard and some markers there, man.
Yeah.
Well, you want to just go over it, like.
Yeah. So going back right there. Okay, so going back, and then we'll go to the other video. So the health part. So that was the so finish it up the hiring process. So you have the resume, you have the video, the 1 minute video, and if you like the person, you can even go into a Zoom call with her to just really fill her out and see if she's somebody you could fill in the position. Because I made this mistake when I was first working, when I started my business, is I would hire anybody with a heartbeat
Yeah.
and a warm body.
Yep.
And I made some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes because it would cost me more to fix up their mistakes.
Yep.
And it's got me to the position also that the people that I would hire could only get me to so far. And I would have to get rid of them, unfortunately, to be able to bring in those bigger and better people to attract that top talent. So you would do the Zoom call, and if you really like the person that you're working with, do a in-person interview. And you can have them do a test, whether it's like a disc test or something in your nature where if you're an electrician, you can have them wire up a simple box, for me to form. I would put them to the test, and you don't have to pay them because it's just a 1 hour interview.
What if it's a personality test and you pay for it?
I would have them pay for it.
Okay. If they're
Interested, if they're really interested,
Yeah.
you can reimburse them when they get hired.
That's true.
Okay.
So
That's a good idea.
yeah, so I would do that, and then you just find out if it's a hire or if it's not, and then we'll go into the next one, which is number 2, would be the health. Again, being in the field, you eat a lot of fast food, so I had to stop all that. I had to get committed and stop all the fast food. I started cooking at home, and when you're cooking at home, you want to eat small portions. You want to eat 5 times a day. And have small portions to be able to expedite your metabolism. Have the small quantities. I included exercising in my routine, early morning exercising, and I worked on my mindset because again, me and Manfro had a IG live, and we talked about when you're in alignment with your mind, body, and your soul, and that was one thing that I implemented in this Triple H system. And we'll go into the home. The home was, again, quality time with spending quality time with my wife. That was important because her love language. Have you guys ever read the book, The Love Language? Hers is quality time, and she was running on empty all the time because I was just not around her, and it was causing even more stress on me when I had stress on the business. So it was to the point where I didn't want to be with her because she was so stressing me out, but she didn't want to be with me because I wasn't spending time with her. So it caused a real friction there. So I had to come to my senses and be like, you know what, I need to be back to that speaker December 5th when he said in order for you to be successful, you need to have relationship success, you need to have success in different areas. And with my kids, I started taking them out. I had an incident happen where we went on a carpet, in Irvine, there's a carpet craft location where you would go and you would set up your little carpets. You would carve them out. Like, let's say you had a picture, they print out the picture and you would just do some weaving, and then they built this crazy carpet. It was pretty cool. I posted it on my social media, but it was amazing. And just to experience that with them was phenomenal. You guys have kids, right? And you don't have kids? You guys all have kids though? Brianna, you have kids, right? Yeah. So just to spend quality time with them really matters. I was failing in this area. And by doing this, what I call the Triple H system, it's helped me little by little. It's helped me to change my life from where I was to now, and it's just going to improve me even more. Because like Tim, I'm always trying to better myself, right? He's like that as well. So it's about creating the little simple habits, obviously bettering your hiring system so you can buy time, so you can work on yourself, and by working on yourself, your home's going to just be a byproduct of that. So that's my Triple H system there.
It's like a waterfall, man.
Right. It's a waterfall, and it's all in sequence. You could actually put it back on the screen.
Yeah, the hiring where it's like,
There
still on
it
it.
is.
Where's Romy?
Dude, I told him multiple times about this, and like we were originally Nick wasn't gonna be here, and I said, hey, we're gonna come together, and I called him yet again. He busted a ramen.
He's still in Utah.
He busted a ramen. What, it was today, brother? My bad.
Did he and
Bro,
Alan
I
go
told
to-
you every single
Alan's
day.
in Utah.
I told him,
I don't
bro,
know.
every
I took his
single-
family out for a week. So
Oh, okay.
get
That's
some
fine.
energy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you need to recharge every once in a while, that's for sure.
While he's working on that, what is something that you guys have changed that has helped your business or your personal life? Let's go with raise of hands.
There it is. It's on it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do something. Who's up for a challenge?
Damn it.
Okay, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna challenge you guys. That if you guys, I don't know where you're at in your business, your personal life, but if you could hire a person to save some of that, to delegate some of that work, you can have no fast food for 30
Except
days.
In-N-Out. I'm just kidding.
You can number 3, you can do family time one time a week, whether it's an hour, whether it's a full day, but just once a week allow to have family time. I chose Sunday to be my family time because we go to church together and we go out to have lunch, and it's a little bit of time, but we can make it all day because we're together if we go on a long trip. So this year has changed my life, and I just want to share with you guys what has changed me, and maybe it'll help you guys in all areas, maybe just one. So this is I have a can you pass me this? I have created this little challenge participation agreement that you guys you guys can sign. And I actually wrote on there the hiring system for you guys to keep as a actually just grab them. Because this holds you accountable to do so. This is for you guys, though. This is for you guys.
I like it.
So this is an agreement that you guys can apply in your life. Like I said, either one thing or just all of them, and it could definitely.
Did you use ChatGPT for this, by the way, or no?
No. Yeah, actually, I did.
Yeah, doesn't make a check out to
You
some
freaking should have, dude. if you
I
did
did.
because-
This is not written by a Cholita.
So again, this was the Infinite Growth Expo, which I'm gonna go, and then obviously you guys are. I hope to see you guys there.
Yep.
But this was there. This is now. This was at my daughter's graduation. I just cropped the photo. This is some of the work that we do. This is I have 8 trucks now. So I started off with 1.
Nice.
I have 8 vehicles. They're utilities. Some are utilities. Some are diesel. Some of these are gas. This is some of the work that we do in the telecommunication field. We'll set up the antennas. We'll set up all the wiring, the electrical. It's pretty cool stuff. I've been up to like 275 feet myself, just climbing. So it's been I've been, like you said, I've been in the industry for since out of high school in 2000. So it's been about 24 years since I started. Since I really started implementing, it's been a good 20 years. So this is some of the work that we do on hillsides. We'll cut out the hillside to put retaining walls. This is some of you guys seen the fake trees?
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's the fake trees. We build those. There's some of the palm right here.
In California.
This is some of the stuff that we use. We use cranes to lift up stuff on rooftops.
Nice.
I got a question. I don't even go back, but do you have to dig that deep to put those things in?
Yeah, this was actually a foundation for this. This was what we call a spread footing. So the footing is underground already. We backfilled it, but it was 17 by 17 squared, about 3 feet deep. And then you would have this what we call pier, inside pier. The pier was 6 feet also, so it was deep.
So every single one of those we see, they're that deep?
Yeah,
Holy crap.
this
Heavy.
there's some that are 6 foot diameter and they're 30 feet deep in the ground. And we do that in one day. So we'll drill, we'll drop the cages, we'll put all the conduit that comes up, we'll drop the anchor bolts, we'll put the concrete all in one day, because if we don't, 2 things could happen. It'll collapse or somebody could fall in there and die. So it's an expedited process to get that concrete placed in there.
So a job like this requires pretty much a big crew.
I mean, I've done it with 3 guys.
What?
Yeah, because we have a machine that comes in and augers the hole. We have a guy on the skid steer loading up the dump truck. We have another guy, the same guy with the, and I have videos on my Instagram if you guys want to follow me on BCD Industries. There's videos out there that I put that we show drilling, setting the anchor bolts, because the same machine that drills can actually has a cable that lifts up the cage and drops it in. And then we have petty bones. You guys know what petty bones are? The big forklifts that extend.
Oh yeah.
They go really high.
Reach fork.
Yeah, reach forks.
Yeah.
We have those to also install those. Again, these are some of the trucks. There were some missing, but we've grown quite a bit for the last 7 years, right? Since 2017, yeah. That's when I went all in, and I was working for somebody, and as I was working for somebody, I renewed my license in 2014, and I started working side work, and the side hustle became too busy for me to actually move away from the business, but I was scared. I was scared to take that leap again because it caused a lot of harm to my family, to the point where I didn't even want to live no more. That's how devastated I was to lose my business back then. But it was a learning experience. I was 23, 24, where it God puts us in those situations so we can grow bigger and better.
Yeah.
So that's my time, guys. How long did we do this for?
Oh, we have a little bit more time.
I got a
If
question.
anybody wants
Yeah,
questions.
if anybody wants
I
questions.
got a question on the construction side. Do you ever get instances where you got the auger going in there and it's just rock, straight rock?
Yeah, we've gotten those instances where it's rock, so we need to. You see this?
Drop like a dynamite down there, dude?
No.
Blow it up.
This is where we do. I'm gonna write on this whiteboard.
Go for it.
So when there's let's say there's a hole that we're drilling 30 feet deep, right? And there's rock at 10 feet.
Jeez.
We would go to what's called the spread footing. We would do this horizontal instead of vertical, and we would just put the pier. So now this would get dirt, backfilled with dirt. So it would act like it would compress the whole weight of the dirt would
Still 30
lock it in
feet down?
place. Huh?
Still 30 feet.
No,
down the spread footing?
this would be depends on the engineer, but this
Yeah.
could be 4 feet,
Got
and
it.
this could be 5 feet.
Yeah.
So you would, instead of vertical, you would do
Yeah.
a spread out
It's like
horizontal.
the same
That makes sense.
surface
Yeah.
area. or
Yeah.
whatever.
So that's how we would do that. We would immediately contact the engineer and say, hey, we ran into some big rock. What do you recommend? They usually have those scenarios. They'll have a scenario A or scenario B, which scenario A would be the drill.
Usually in there. You can drill that hole. They have to switch out the bits, and you get a grinder bit, and you just drill the
Yeah.
rock.
That's
you just keep
crazy.
drilling and drilling. It takes like a hole. Like he said, one day, you could take you 3 days to dig a hole. And
Yeah.
your project gets
Yeah.
blown out. That's one hole, and you have 30 holes you got to dig.
And on those
And
T-bids, they charge you like $500.
charge
Yeah, they're
every time they
expensive.
They break
broke.
all the time.
And sometimes you have river rock. We call them dinosaur eggs, right? You can pull out a rock when you're drilling. You can pull a rock like this big. But when you start getting rocks like this big, you can't. There's no way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In
It's,
Palm
it's
Springs, it's like that's just all 30 feet down. It's rock.
Or all of a sudden your hole's now like that.
Yep.
Oh,
Or it
bad.
starts to balloon underneath or cave in. So now the dirt just keeps collapsing and collapsing and collapsing. It gets crazy.
yep.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, when you come to a point on December 5th and you make the decision to, become a different person, dude, that shit's overwhelming, dude.
It is.
There's a lot. You're everything's gonna have to change. So, how did you manage to convince yourself to take that next step, as opposed to just cruising along with what the life you were living before?
There's a point where you almost hit rock bottom, where you don't know if you want to continue with the relationship, because again, it was so much friction there. So when I heard the speaker say, hey, you guys should find success and take your daughters out, your wife, and spend time with them, I found out that even if I leave her, my wife, and I go to look for somebody else, the problem's still going to be there if I don't change myself. And why throw away these amount of years because I was so hard-headed not to change? So the decision I made was because I have a good wife. She's good. And for me to change for the better, internally, I can be that person externally.
So the family.
Yeah, family, because you know, I've been with her for a long time since I was actually. I ran into my elementary school teacher a little while ago in Riverside at the convention center. That's where I met her when I was 16.
Wow.
And we got together when we were 6th grade. So we've been together. I haven't been the greatest husband or the greatest person because I was broken. I was a broken people, and what do? Just break others, right? When we're broken. So it's caused me to do a lot of harm. So I think I owed that to her, to my families, to be better.
It's amazing. That's great.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Yeah, when it comes to your mindset on the choices that you took prior to 2017, you said you worked with somebody for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And what exactly triggers? Is that like hunger of growth, or just change of mindset, or family again? Or that something triggers that change in you?
I was bored.
Bored.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was used to for a challenge. I'm used to. My dad was the type of person to always, no, you could do it. Go for it. Push. And being that I was bored, I didn't feel like I was at my purpose. I needed to make a change. So rather than living and just getting a paycheck, be boring, I needed to have a challenge in my life.
It's like you're destined for more.
Yeah, I'm destined for more.
Absolutely.
You know, and I was able to this point, I have a great relationship with my old boss. I went in there and I said, look, I'm scared to do this, and I'm scared to come in here and tell you, but this is what's on my heart. What do you say? Like, he goes, dude, I know you could do it. Just go out, I'll bless you. You know, and he gave me his blessings, and I went on my own, and I haven't looked back since. So it's been hard, man.
Was it Marcus Lemonis? The one who said that?
He said that, but it was Jesse Itzler.
Oh, Jesse Itzler.
Yeah.
That's funny because I was there because we were at the same event.
Right.
And I saw 3 talks. Jesse Itzler, Marcus Lemonis, and a little bit of Tim Story. And I remember somebody saying that.
Yeah.
It's crazy we were in the same room.
Yeah. And that's what's important about going to the seminars,
Yeah.
like networking, right? I overlooked it for a long time because I was just working the business. I never had time. I don't need time for that.
Yeah.
But it's important because you build relationship,
Yeah.
and that's what business is, relational.
And then the other power, because we would have this type of conversation, is that the power of what, not just attending the events, but where you sit. You know, he's always the type of person that sit front row to
Yeah.
be surrounded with other like-minded people. And look at what it's gotten him, you know?
Yeah.
Some of the best collaborations that I've seen.
It's like an example I gave Nick earlier. So I'll go back to that example, and then so I've created this habit now of going to the gym, eating healthy, that when I don't do it, I'm staying out of town, and I've been a little bit on the field too, because I'm on a government project right now, so I got to make sure that everything functions to my thing, because we're building some big holes. Social media, if you look at it, and you look at my social media, I'm doing some
You
holes.
want to mess with uncles?
Yeah, but I'm working some government jobs, so it's a little bit more technical. So I want to be there. But I didn't go to the gym Tuesday morning because I felt tired, but I felt off. But it's instilled in me now that it's like I need to do that because for me to function is I need that iron therapy. You know, so I ended up taking off from work a little bit early, and I hit 1 hour, just hit it hard, and I came back and I was good, I was solid.
Yeah.
So that's how it's instilled in me. And also, I've told them your environment, like he said, right? You surround yourself in the front or closer to the front. It's the environment. I go to Moreno Valley to the Planet Fitness. I pay $10 a month. But I still get my workout in. But the environment, you see different kind of people. I'm in Chula Vista right now. I joined the $60 a month. It's called the gym. Even the women come out to like, excuse me, sir. I'm like,
Get out the way.
yeah, get out the way. Let me use that. They'll pick me up and say, excuse me. But it's stuff like that. It's like the environment you're in, right? So you want to surround yourself to areas where you get elevated. And that's why I joined this team. I joined this community because, like he said, it elevated me because I feel like if I'm surrounded by bigger and better people, it brings me to that level of bigger and better.
So you want to be an athlete, hang out with athletes.
Yeah.
You want to be a business, successful.
Yeah. Because I used to hang out, my whole life is like, my role models were cholos and gangsters and streets. That's what I thought my life was gonna be until well, I don't know, just something clicked. Again, something was a purpose bigger for me. And as a little kid, it's like I wanted to be on the other side of the law, which I wanted to be a police officer. I didn't want to be on the bad side, and I made a choice to be on the good side. It never happened, but you know, I wanted to be different.
I want to share something real quick because I think it just ties in on the hiring thing. It's not directly with your presentation, but in meeting with some people and talking about hiring, this person that told me this has a company that has a lot of employees. And basically he went through this like whole restructuring of his company to be more aligned with his, you know, all of his employees having the same goal and drive and stuff, right? So what he did, which I thought was interesting, and it's probably not an original idea, but I thought I'd never heard it exactly the way that he told it. So he created a hiring committee. So he basically took employees from each department that he felt were operating in the direction that he wanted to operate, and he created this committee. And basically, you know, he would do all the initial interviewing, but before they got hired, they have to come to this committee and basically get asked questions by these people.
Right.
And they have a structure to it. And then there's a scoring system, and they basically score a secret ballot and they put it in. And if the person scores over X, then they're in. If they don't, they're out.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the final word is like the committee of people. And I thought that was kind of a powerful thing. This is a much, well, actually, you know, your company is pretty big. But like for us, that wouldn't really make sense because we don't have a lot of employees.
Yeah.
But it could help other people though, like, you know, that. So that's why I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, one thing that I've learned is that if you have good guys and you bring in, if you don't do the right your due diligence in hiring the right person to come in, they could infect the other good ones.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, they could infect that, and now you're losing all your guys because of some guy that you didn't do the
Or
background.
they start.
It's like those bad apples in that
Yeah.
basket.
Totally.
Yeah, so I'm at the stage where I have to make better choices because I created what's called, and I'll share this, a core value. It's hard. The acronym HARD, because construction is hard, and you have to be hard to be in construction.
Yeah.
You know, and what it stands for is honesty, accountability, responsibility, and discipline.
Sweet.
Those are my core values.
Good one.
So,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
It's truly awesome to see the intention and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
what you've done. So, hey, do you mind taking a picture
Yeah.
with that? And yours too. So we want to acknowledge you and thank you for you for
Awesome.
being up here. You did
Yeah,
an
for
amazing
sure.
job. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Finally get one of these.
I got this all screwed up here. There we go. All right, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, we got a couple.
All right, awesome.
Nice. Thank you guys. Thank you for having me here.
Appreciate it.
Good talk, man.
Thanks.
It's an amazing journey.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna get better.
Can't wait to see the next one, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna have 50 trucks by then.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool today because we don't have a ton of people and we're all members, so we're gonna have some great conversations. So here's a couple topics that you can choose. You can pick one of these questions, or if you need a breakthrough, something is if you're stuck somewhere in your business or in life and you want to kind of get some insight, maybe it's not on here. Feel free to open up because you know, this is what it's all about, being able to share and help each other kind of break through different levels. So the first question is, what KPIs do you track in your business, or what what's P stand for?
Process,
Performance.
Performance
yeah.
indicators. What KPIs do you track in your business? What app or software do you use to track it? Or what current project are you currently working on that you would like some input on? Or what is one main challenge in your business? And what systems, resources, or people do you need to connect to overcome this challenge? Or what's one amazing app, resource, or software that you've implemented that you would recommend to others? So pick one of those questions and we'll just have a chat and go from there. So
Start off with you this time. We'll go around.
Yeah, you're always last.
Yeah, you always have time to think about everything. Come up with some kind of poignant.
And we all remember you went last. You see?
Last time, we got 3
Most
minutes.
guys in the beginning were like,
Let's finish in 3 minutes.
all right, I'll do one that is really on the top of my list, and I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable. So I had a call with Brian Rand. Brian Rand, we hired him to help us with our sales for the Infinite Growth Expo. Getting 1,000 people in an event is not an easy task at all. Brian Rand was the top salesperson for Grant Cardone last year. He had $1.3 million in commission being the top salesperson. He walked away from Grant Cardone's team and built his own event agency to make sales and fill events. Prior to this, we just had a call that the entire industry has changed. He's done ticket sales from all different events, and like the amount of people who are coming to events these days it plummeted over the last few months.
Yeah.
And so the whole industry's changed. So right now we're working on trying to get 1,000 people there still. I know I have 100% faith that we're gonna have it. We're gonna get people there, but we need to shift our mindset of how to do it. Some of the things that they said, of course, is rather than just talking about the main speakers and stuff like that, what they're gonna talk about is really dial into the pain points that people are having that we can solve. So if you guys have any ideas of any unique ways, I'll tell you the 2 ways that they said are the main ones, is be industry specific on who we target and to really dial down on people's pain points. And then also collaborate with like big influencers and kind of share the ticket sales. But if you guys have any other ideas, I mean, I know it's gonna happen, but I just need to figure out a way. So if you have any ideas or strategies, yeah.
I mean, dude, I think social media you have to basically figure that out like ASAP.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that the power of, like, I'm putting together a class right now, and this is part of some of the stuff that I've been working on, but it's like educate, inspire, or entertain. Those are kind of the main things you focus on when you're doing social media. And you got to kind of do a little bit of both, like when you're building a page. But I think for an event like this, the inspire part of it would be the number one. And I think telling stories of people that have grown throughout this year in creative ways that are short enough to catch people's attention, like, which I'm not good at that part yet. But I think having that and then using directed Instagram and Facebook ads and catching those people's eyes with that story of the success or this went from this to this. I mean, dude, just the picture of him to the size he was to that. I mean, shit like that's powerful, dude. When you see some change like that, and then maybe that catches their eye, and then there's a little story behind that. But I think being able to get that out there and inspire people and show the changes that have happened to the people that have gone to the event is even more powerful than the speakers.
Yeah.
Stories.
I believe too, exactly as Tim said, it's just what I feel is authenticity as well. Because today as we speak, we've been overwhelmed, bombarded by internet, by social media, by everybody will put the story out, they have a story to tell. But I think when you direct that to authenticity, like direct it to the hearts of the people, that would get you a lot more outcome out of it. So that's something I've been working on the network marketing, because as you all know, network marketing is really vast. And I only tackle international because I have the ways to do it. Other people don't have that much to do so. But I still use that method to go straight up to people's hearts and tell them, hey, listen, that's the root story and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. So when you guys started the Infinite Growth Expo, who was your target?
Just growth-minded business owners who wanted to just break past that next level by surrounding themselves with inspiring stories, systems, and the right people.
Okay.
So it's kind of broad.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, if I'm gonna give you an example, right? So, as a real estate agent, just because that's my background, right? As a real estate agent, I want any one of you to refer to me, anyone who's looking to buy or sell real estate. Who comes to mind? Nobody, right? Zero, nobody, right? But if I tell you, hey guys, look, I'm looking for somebody who's in the medical field, preferably a doctor, surgeon, preferably, someone who's got a net worth between, $1 million to, $20 million, that's looking to park some money. But if you guys know of a doctor, I have a perfect property for them. Who comes to mind now?
Every doctor you know.
Every doctor you know, right? Like, there's names, right? So what that guy said is brilliant, because he said you gotta narrow it down to 1 or 2 audiences and then cater to them. If I'm gonna tell you right now, how you can twist it, or I don't know if it's too late or not, but if you can have somebody there who can appeal to realtors right now, because they're scared shitless over their commissions being cut, over the NAR lawsuit, over no inventory, historical inventory is like all-time low, nobody's selling, you guys know the deal, I don't need to tell you guys that. But that is making that audience scared shitless. You probably know that, you talk to them every day.
Yeah.
So if you can come at them and say, hey, look guys, it doesn't matter what's happening in the economy, what you're gonna come learn here is that you're gonna become the type of person who can overcome any economy, any real estate market, anything, and that just would be and zero in on that message for that audience. So I guess the first thing I would say is like zero in on the audience, because, I mean, you guys have Mario Erazon speaking. He's got 6,000 licensed, 7,000 licensed insurance agents, right? There's half of your thing sold out right there.
Yeah.
You know, so enroll him as the speaker to kind of, you know, start promoting that event as well. So anyways, he filled Tim Grover with like 3,000 people in San Bernardino. And all that was just his people.
That guy's unbelievable. Like, his public speaking is
Yeah.
off the charts.
Yeah,
You can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's
So anyway, so just audience and realtors and, you know, insurance agents and, I don't know, maybe cater towards them.
awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good ideas, thank you. All right. Do you wanna go?
Oh yeah. So I'm starting to create more systems as I go. The one thing is on the calls I said I really don't use a CRM because most of my customers are repeat. But I started to really open up my eyes to it, and I purchased a CRM that I'm going to start implementing because it allows us to, instead of going to the Excel spreadsheets, I'm going to be doing it through the CRM, and it'll actually do milestones, because sometimes when you're doing it on the Excel, you forget to implement something. So by doing the CRM, I got my mind exposed to the CRM program, so that's something I bought into.
What CRM are you using?
It's the Go High Level.
Okay.
Oh, go high level? Yeah. Yeah, they're very.
So that was it.
Good.
I'm gonna choose the number 2, the current project that I'm working on. As I mentioned earlier before as well, the expansion, the company that I'm affiliated with, they are on a global scale, 280,000 affiliate around the globe, multiple language speaking, like 19 languages pretty much on our platform. But my personal project is to expand that beyond the United States or California itself. We have one big major team in Canada, which is really going really big, and another team in Colombia. They're really big teams, so we're trying to kind of match up with them on that level here in California. So that's pretty much my main project for the next 6 months.
So what kind of input would you like? What kind of input would you like about that?
Actually, it's mostly connection network insight from like-minded people to get the channel into the right people. I mean, we offer services on platforms how people can work from their own pace at their own time. They only need a cell phone and internet, and you start making the money. So pretty much mine is mostly digital. Doesn't require an office, doesn't require a place. So that's what I actually look for as an input. More leads, I would say.
Anybody have a question to get for him?
So what service do you guys actually offer?
Trading,
Like day
like
trading?
stock market.
Oh,
yeah.
day trading stock market?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
All
got
kind
it.
of trades. And what we have, actually, we have 4 applications that actually download them on your phone, and you receive like signals from professional traders.
Oh,
And you
nice.
can copy them, paste them on your own brokerage, and you make your money pretty much. This is how the affiliation works with us. And that's how a lot of people get into a fight. Okay, I'm in college, I'm a student, I work like the 9-to-5 job, and I need extra income, so we come in and boost that as well.
So is it an algorithm that runs it, the
Yes.
trading on the back end? That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. It's a huge software, but it's actually 3 platforms.
So who's your ideal client?
Ideal client, mostly anyone, but mostly young people. They're looking for extra income.
So like a college student or something.
Yeah,
Got it.
because those people are actually kind of scrambled around. They don't know what to go, what's their objectives, and in the meantime, they're working on it. And a lot of clients that we have, they're like lawyers, doctors. They just don't want to be in their offices anymore. They're tired of 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah.
So they kind of get into that and get that freedom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Interesting.
I haven't spoken about the business yet because we haven't had a chance. I know I will someday, but we will get it there. I'll let you guys know more first then.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So for me, what kind of project? One main challenge in your business, resources, promote a resource app software I've implemented. I think I'm gonna do the project. I need some input on. I don't know if I've spoken to, I know I spoke to Juan yesterday specifically about it, or if you guys follow me on social media. As a real estate person, I've no residential, buying, selling. I mean, that's the easy part. The more challenging part is like that I'm getting into now is like subdivision and building. So part of being in this group, I don't know if I should just subdivide. If you guys have been in my house, you guys don't have significant property, and I don't know what way to go. If it makes more sense to subdivide and sell off the parcels, because land seems to be very scarce and it's almost crazy how much it's going up. Or if I should, build out and get the get the foundation built, do the electrical, get all the framing done, get the permits done. So that's kind of what I'm throwing around in my head right now. Because for contextual purpose, we have 5.2 acres and 3 acres I don't use, and they're just there. And the crazy part is that the front 3 acres are on the actual street. I have a back street that goes to my house. So these 3 acres are literally right there, 1, 2, and 3 on a residential road. So that's kind of like, so that's what I would like input on, but I know that would be kind of more your guys'.
I would say number one, if you think you can utilize the lump sum to sell that land and to do bigger and better projects, then that's what I would do, is subdivide and sell it off. But probably, I mean, in my mind, it may not be the best way, but this is what I would do. I would create the like homes on both of those. Let's say 1 or 2 homes on a third of it, and just lease it out and have that residual income come in, because at the end of the day, you can sell those off later on down the line, and not only would you have had that income the whole time, but you're using the appreciation and depreciation, all the good stuff for real estate at the same time. So
That's interesting. I thought about it. Because you don't need,
you don't need a whole acre for each property, right? I mean,
no, you don't. But I have this weird vision of like in Moreno Valley, because that's where it is. There's no $1 million homes like anywhere. So what if you just build them? Right? There's no like neighborhood. You guys live in Rancho. You guys know what I'm talking about. You go to the neighborhoods, you can drive by, and you're like, oh man, some of you might live there. I don't know, but big houses, right? And my house is like not big, but it's like back up on the hill, and it's far. Thank you. And it's that, but it's just like great, good for me, but I'm not using this and nobody else is. So what's really the point? So financially, what would be the best? Not just financially for my family, but like what would be the best thing for the community as well?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna kind of steal your plan, but
Yeah. What's his plan? He's staying quiet over there.
well, so with the amount of land that's there, like, 'cause I haven't been to your property, so I'm just kind of brainstorming what it might look like. But is there a soccer complex? Do you want to look at building something on a commercial side off of that the community a community center with a pool, soccer complex, multi-purpose fields, something like that. Where it'd be a larger scale than just a home or multiple homes, but something that like, now a soccer league's gonna be like, for us to play here every Saturday for 6 months, here's the fee,
Right.
Great idea.
Different multi-purpose facilities. Do you want to reach out to like a Boys and Girls Club and have a Boys and Girls Club there? A Moreno Valley Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, the only issue is it's zoned RE2. So you can't do anything else whatever, besides whatever's already zoned for.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That
So if
was
it's for
big.
personal use, yeah, like if it's for personal use, like, yeah, I got a freaking obstacle course
Yeah.
there right now,
Yeah.
you know? So, if it's for personal use, yeah, but for something,
Okay.
cause I did think about that, but then, sounds bad, cause Moreno Valley is not known for keeping up with things the nicest, and the
Mhm.
people there just kinda take whatever you do and shit on it,
Yeah.
right? Somebody
What
said, yeah.
about,
Huh?
what about EV charging?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. No. It's residential. It's like
How many
in the
kids do you
middle
have?
of a residential. Huh?
How many kids do you have?
Two.
Two? I mean, kind of piggyback off Nick's point, make a house, and then when they turn 18, be like, here's the keys, sell it, whatever you want to do with it. Like, you got a lot of different options. It's really, like, if it was me, I would develop it and then look at where I stand financially after building it. Like you said, do you want to build a mansion there? Like, how detailed do you want to go with it?
Yeah.
And then just see like, do I want to keep it? Do I want to move into this one, sell that one, or fix that one up? Sell
Yeah.
it, you know?
That's kind of more.
You've
or less
got
what I
like
was
a lot of
thinking.
doors in front of you.
Yeah, that's more or less what I was thinking. Like, you build out if you like something better than, because we flip homes, and sometimes we look at homes and I'm like, I kind of like this one better than our house, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to move into it, but it's not gonna happen.
Can we build a
I
headquarters?
don't even know if this is
Huh?
like, I
Can
don't
we
even
build
know.
a headquarters there?
Yeah, subdivide. You guys buy an acre. Go for it.
Have a parking lot structure and then right there.
This may not make any sense, or it may, I don't know, I'm just thinking out of the box, but what if, I've been getting more commercial leads, like people asking questions a lot about land, like they're interested in buying a home to build, and there's all
Right.
these obstacles with that, right? And a lot of times, like, you know, you gotta get to the point, if you're gonna do a certain type of loan, you gotta get to the point of having like approved plans and, you know, all the different things done for the house to be built, for them to be able to finance the purchase of the land and the construction.
So hold
what
on,
if you-
go back. You have to get everything approved before they
So,
get approved for the
like a
construction
single
loan?
closed construction loan, basically, like before you can close on the land, you're basically going through the whole entire process of getting the property ready to build. And you have to be ready to build within a certain amount of time before they'll close. And then once they close, it creates a credit line that they can draw from to build the property, and then eventually it turns into a 30-year fixed loan at the end of the process, right? But the trouble is that people don't want to do that because they have to put so much money up front to basically get the property ready to build before they're actually owners of the property. So what if you were to like go and basically design some houses, go through that whole process of getting it ready, and then sell that to them, so you lose the risk of like building on it, right? Like and all that cost of building it, but you're able to offer to someone at a premium because they can just come in and get a loan to do the construction because everything's already freaking approved. They, you know.
So I think they call it like an entitlement. Almost.
Yeah,
like
entitlement.
You entitle
Yeah,
the project.
And I'm like new to that section, so
Sell
I'm
them a
saying that
vision.
stuff wrong, but like that's how I understand it. So that was just a thought that came to mind.
Ah.
I don't know. Look into that maybe.
Yeah, you're basically selling them a vision, and then they have all that in line, so it makes your property more sexy.
And if they wanted to do some changes or something, they probably could. They just
Yeah.
had to get them approved. There'd be a little extra time, but they'd be way closer to that opportunity of financing the whole thing. You know, like the whole purchase of the land and the home, and you could probably get a premium for that with less time and less upfront cash.
It's like
Yeah.
almost similar to the ones that kind of example like Lennar built before they build, they sell the house on blueprints.
Totally.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Like, all they have one
Yeah.
model.
You go in,
that
it's
makes
not
sense.
there, but you can buy the house.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
6
Where's
months.
that?
Yeah,
You can choose your lot, you can choose the
Like,
size.
oh, you want to swap this out? Okay, that's easy.
Here we
You know,
go.
Ah.
like here's
It makes
90%
more
of the
sense,
work.
kinda.
Yeah.
I have a prelim set of plans in my truck. You want to look at them for a house?
Are they approved for Riverside County, or is it City of Moreno Valley?
They're pretty detailed.
How big's the house?
I think this one's 6,500 square feet.
Well, that's huge.
Yes.
It can be shrunken down. This one is because it was multi-layered,
Oh,
right?
okay.
That's why it
So
kind of
65
did that.
would be 30
You
feet.
could probably shrink it down to like 35.
I was gonna say like
Yeah.
30, 3200.
So like 35. It looks like a nice house. It was fully drawn up. It's prelim, and just no one ever built it.
Wow.
Like, it's a nice looking house.
There it is.
What
I'd
area
like
is
to see
that?
that.
Are you? Can you build apartments
It's
there?
Fallbrook.
Fogo.
Ah.
Beautiful.
You can build like ADU units, but you can't build like apartments on there. Yeah.
This would be like a house.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'd prefer it.
Micro communities. You could offer sustainable living, right? You could do like water harvesting because you get a lot of water out there. do solar structure for electricity. You can make it look, you know, you could, not futuristic, but you could offer a lot of amenities, right?
Build a bunch of motherships. Have you ever seen those?
No, what are those?
Dude, look it up. It's crazy.
Mothership?
They're houses that run completely off of the land. It's nuts. There's like motherships are a specific one. Look, you'll go down a rabbit hole. Make sure you have a little bit of time. Yeah, 'cause it's
You start having people living in tents.
yeah, it's like, that's wild. They build them out of tires and they dig them into the earth.
Oh
and-
yeah, there's like
Dude,
a
the
show
water
about
like
that.
runs down the roof. It goes through the thing and like I mean, it's like they need nothing. No, the sun powers it. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and
they
they're cool with
insulated
it
with
too.
tires. Yeah.
They cut like bottles and
That's
that's
like
the
that
light.
guy in Brazil. He built the whole house from plastic bottles.
Yeah.
And they're actually, if you go to Ghost Town,
Right.
Calico, they built something old up there, and they still there. I took my kids a few weeks ago. They were like excited about seeing those plastic bottles in the house. It's just kind of like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your idea, Tim. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
How about
And
you?
I'll look at those plans all day. So, yeah. I'll
It's
take
a
it.
cool looking house. I'm not gonna do it, but like I don't have that kind of capital. But the idea is there.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So current project I am working on, you know, there's something, the great thing that I appreciate being in the life insurance industry is that there is a lot of creativity that can be done with it. Generally, when people think about life insurance, they think of the general aspect of you pass away, your family gets money. But I'm also a real estate investor. I haven't actually gotten my first property, but I've done like small lending work for people who are doing fix and flips and stuff like that. But I have been wanting for just over a year to combine life insurance and real estate investing because I meet a ton of people who want to invest but they don't know where to invest. And then also I know that there's a way to do it. So I've been exploring, like learning a lot of different things and exploring different ways on how I could approach it. But now I'm in a position where I've gotten it pretty much nailed down. Now I just need to figure out the team, you know, the team as far as like a real estate attorney. I need a dedicated real estate agent that specifically can work with the people that I set up these plans for. And then a couple other people that I need as well. And so if you guys happen to know anyone, I really need a real estate attorney. I think that's going to be the hardest one for me to get.
What kind of real estate attorney? Because there's a bunch of them.
So someone that, because I also need a loan processor. I'm not really entirely sure on how that works, but if
Okay.
someone's giving me money, I don't want the tax liability or anything like that. The property's gonna need to be, the loan is gonna be secured by the property, things like that. I need to make sure it's completely structured properly so that they're protected
Got it.
and I'm protected.
Got it.
So you're gathering money to do projects from multiple people, you're crowdfunding or?
It's not crowdfunding, so it's a different concept, I'll say, but it is. So the money is going to originally, like, let's say for example, I'm just going to use an example. If someone has $100,000 and we put it into a life insurance policy, number
Okay,
one,
it's going into life insurance. Okay.
It is
That's
first.
what I missed.
right? So it's going to go there first, and then as projects come up. And those funds can be used, we would take it out. So number one, it does a couple different things. They get interest on that money sitting there. And even when they loan from there, they're still getting interest, okay? But then they're gonna go and loan it out to Project X, where we need, let's say, 50 grand. And that 50 grand makes them money, and then they pay the loan back, and then with interest and all of that. So therefore, growing their money two ways. First, through the life insurance policy, which life insurance is not an investment vehicle, but it's just a place to place your money and have growth there. And then at the same time, make your money off of the real estate investment, therefore, you know, making money twice.
Isn't that called like infinite banking or?
Somewhat. It's tax-free money too.
Yeah, it's essentially that concept, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they make the profit on the money, does that just go to the people that had originally had the life insurance or?
So that money, it does need to be paid back for the most part. You want
Yeah.
to pay it back. Yeah.
So the question is, people come in and invest like 100 grand, example, on life insurance with you, with your agent. and the money will be lended out to people who invest in real estate. That's what you're trying to combine type thing.
Correct, but
Okay.
again, I just need, because obviously I want them to be protected when doing so. Like I don't want,
Yeah.
you know, of course, like if I'm lending out money, I want to make sure my my money's safe.
That's why you need
And-
an alternative and you need a loan
Exactly,
processor.
exactly, just to make sure everything is set up properly.
So my friend runs he got huge on Instagram and talking about investing. Then you had all these people hitting him up saying, "Where should I put 50 grand? Where should I put 100 grand? Where should I put 700 grand?" Like, so he started basically finding properties and basically pooling that money and then basically buying them, paying them like an 11 or 12% return. And
Right.
so he like kind of made his own hard money fund basically. But
Yeah.
there's a company that he works with that basically handles all that. Like literally, like it's the attorney, it's the they record the information of the people, like they send it out for him to sign. It's all like one-stop shop. So I'll try and get the name of the
Yeah.
company
Have you
and send it
talked,
to
have you
you.
talked to Alan about this?
No.
Okay, we just did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so our attorney's name is Dimitri. So, yeah,
Dude, he
so.
sounds legit.
Yeah.
It's like that name right there.
So-
You're hired.
Only has one name.
Yeah, like-
So yeah, what he's saying, what Tim's saying is accurate. You have to register with the SEC. You have to put like the stacks of papers is like 3 binders this thick.
It's crazy work.
It's an insane amount of work, but it's worth it when you get it all done. It took us 6 months to do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is honestly, it's not that long, really. When you really think about it, it's not that long. But you can do it, and talk to Alan and have him get you Dimitri's number.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dimitri Johnson.
thank you.
What's that?
No, it's like Dimitri Johnson.
Dimitri, it's like Russian or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude, it's definitely Russian.
I don't know.
The Polish thing, they need
I think you may have mentioned him
Dimitri
before.
Nicola.
Yeah.
All right, I'll kind of go off the beaten path and not do the current project. I'll probably go with the main challenge in the business. It's not that I need to be like connected with anyone per se. It's just more of like because the business is still so new, so it's like earlier stages of it. So it's like just going through the motions of the beginning, the early stages, you know, and then just. But the challenge is basically like the working capital, right? Because when you first start your business, you're like, look at all the cool things that if I go buy these for the business, like the things that can do for the business. But it's all like, okay, hold on, like you can't just go throw out 500 grand on different ventures that the business is eventually going to need. But it's just so it's like, all right, and like I said earlier, jobs are coming in, so it's like, all right, 6 months from now, like it won't even be a problem. But it's just like getting to that point. And that's really just the challenge that I face, just because it's still so new.
Yeah.
So you need working capital?
That would be ideal
Like
for
a
right
line
now.
of credit or something?
Okay.
Kind of, like yeah, I guess yeah, like a line of credit, you know. Just to like help, because it's like there's a lot of big jobs that are coming, but it's like I don't, you know, instead of waiting 6 weeks for those to start, and then like another month or two for those to finish, and then another like 45 days for that payment.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like getting to that point. Because
How would capital get you to that point if the jobs are still not done?
because like I have like 2 guys right now that where they're at, they would come jump ship to come work under me, and that would allow me to tackle multiple jobs per day. Instead of being like, okay, cool, like, all right, let me do this job, now I'm out to this one. Like, I could facilitate jobs a lot quicker.
So are you turning away business right now?
No,
No.
it's just, the schedule's just growing is all.
Got it.
Which is not a problem, like, that's ideal in construction, right? But there's a lot of jobs where it's like, oh, look, this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these jobs could be tackled in Monday.
What's your ideal like client?
Right now, it's mostly commercial. I'm trying to leapfrog residential, just because it's like, I understand there's the cash flow and all that.
Yeah.
But my background is commercial electrical. That's what I've done for the last 8 years.
Like big Amazon buildings and stuff like that, or
Stuff like that, yeah, or like office spaces like this, EV chargers, solar, pretty much anything.
yeah. Have you heard of factoring companies?
Mm-mm.
So what factoring companies do is they'll buy your invoice
Okay.
at a percentage. So they'll like, let's say your invoice is 10,000,
Mm-hmm.
they'll give you like 9.5. So they'll keep $500 from that, but they'll pay you out, and then they go after the client.
Ah, okay.
So then you have your working capital. Then you can move on, and then have them take over the invoice.
So it's like fast forwarding, because
Yeah.
the commercial getting paid is hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's
hard
times
part.
where I wait up to 90 days,
Yeah.
And
180.
you're like, yo, like, where's it
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of them are be paid, like, oh, it's 60 days, but paid on paid, you know? And they're like, yeah, we haven't got paid for 120, so then by the time you get, like you said, 180 sometimes.
at? Yeah.
Yeah, so the factoring companies do help,
Okay.
but there's a percentage that you gotta lose.
Yeah.
But again, you get your
Okay.
money faster. Another thing is negotiating with the client. Say, hey, I'll take 2 points off if you pay faster.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I am gonna start. I got in touch with this gentleman that I'm gonna hook up with him. I don't know how it works yet, but funding. So I'm gonna offer funding for contractors, but I gotta get all the logistics and all that stuff
Yeah, for
situated
sure.
first.
Right on.
But that's something that because I know all the contractors suffer from the same thing, cash
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah.
So,
And it's like it's just so early, you know, so it's like, obviously, you probably felt at the beginning, like,
Yeah.
you're like, dude, I just need, like, if in 6 months to a year, like, I won't even worry about it, you know?
Yeah, but even then too, it's
You just get bigger jobs.
it just
and
keeps
bigger-
bigger, and it just means that
Yeah.
it gets bigger.
I know
Yeah,
people that
alligator
own
gets
huge
bigger and you
construction
gotta
companies, they're still stressed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it gets tight. It gets tight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
doesn't
So,
matter when.
Yeah. It just means the bigger the jobs, the bigger the problems. They say.
Oh, 100%. That's the saying, right?
Yeah, but just keep it, safe, but at the same time, know your growth. You don't want to overextend yourself.
Yeah, like, that's my biggest thing, is making sure that I'm staying within my means, right? And
Yeah.
not growing too fast, because I've seen companies that do that, and then they fail.
Yeah,
you know?
just as, like I said, this year, in the industry that where I'm at, like we're one of the companies that actually stuck around. But not only because I was in that industry, I'm in other industries as well. And now everything's starting to ramp up. So it's like, you guys have been around for a while, so we get first right of refusal. But right now it's like I got a call from a project. I got like 2-3 projects this week. I'm like, man, how am I gonna man them up? But
It's a good problem to have.
yeah, but it's good.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
yeah, exactly. Right? No, thank you for that, though.
Yeah, sure.
So my question is, if you guys have been in this, what do you do with accelerated growth? Like when people are just throwing you the work, and now you're just like everything's coming like you're going through like I don't know, what is that ride at Disneyland?
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain, when it's like that, where you're on the ride, right? And you see it, but not all the work, and like I'm only one person, right? I have my own one other person that I want to bring on, but then what happens? Like, how do you just hire more? I don't want to start up and then fall flat on my
Crash and burn.
face.
Piss too many people
Yes.
off. They're like, this guy's.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming with 20 years of experience, and people know the trust and the value they see with going with me. But now it's like, okay, well, if people start doing this, like even now, I'm booked up until mid-July, and I just signed an MSA. They're 2 small projects, but it's like it could potentially turn into 10, right? What's going to happen when more people start looking? And I haven't even started advertising it, and that's what scares me.
So one thing that Grant Cardone and Brandon Dawson say is, in order for you to start hiring people, in order for it to make sense financially on the long run, each person that you bring on should increase your profits $250,000. So once you're at that point, then it makes sense for each person that you bring on. If they're generating $250,000 in business, then that makes sense. But other than that,
Gotta figure it out.
Stay small.
yeah, that's the stage you need to. That's the
Okay.
tipping point.
One-
Other than that, you're just gonna start bleeding cash.
Oh, one thing that I've learned is I've seen this with other companies. They start to sub out. Like find somebody that's gonna.
Well, that's how I'm getting thrown in. People are wanting to sub out, and now they're wanting to sub out to me now. But I have a lot of people that are like that. Like, oh, you're on your own now? Yeah. And like, oh, can you do this? Can you do this? Like, that's where I'm at. And I'm like, well, I'm only me and one other person. So I only got 2 hands.
Yeah.
I can only build so fast in an 8-hour, 10-hour day.
Yeah, so if you can get into like subbing out work, but just have an agreement with them that they won't take your customer.
Yeah.
Because most of the time that's what
And not
happens.
to compete.
Yeah, not to compete. So if you have a sub, you could basically duplicate yourself because now they're self-performing just like you, and they're gonna be doing a good job. Whether if you hire somebody, they're just there for the hours, and whether you have a lot of jobs, and if they milk it, the problem's just gonna get more.
Yeah.
So just find that medium point where you can actually do it.
What do you do?
I'm an electrical contractor.
You're an electrical
Just like Taylor.
contractor? Oh, okay.
We did this kind of together.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm in my region, he's in his, but I live here in Marietta, right? Just like, give you an example of just the networking thing of it, right? I wanted to look at a property, right, of a person that we didn't even know we knew we know, individually we know, but like we're in the same group, and now I'm talking to the same person. Well, they looked at my website. Well, first I wanted to look at his property. I see it was on Neighborhood. I don't know if you guys know what Neighborhood is.
Yeah.
So I was on Neighborhood. I'm like,
actually-
someone told me,
She's
I'm
on
like,
that
I'll
constant.
try it. Like, why not? It's free. So, scrolling through there, it says real estate. Click on it. It's this lady, it's La Cresta Realty. Like, oh, we have a property coming up for sale. So, listening to her, because I'm always listening, right? Like, one thing I guess of being married is learn how to listen, right? So I'm listening, and they're older. They want to retire. Or her husband wants to retire, and I ask what they do. They're like electrical contractor. And then going in these meetings, like with you guys, like, why would you want to start a company when you could buy one? And that's planted the idea in my head. And so listening to her, like, wanting to retire, I'm like, I'm really like this property. I had a separate question. Would you and your husband would you guys be willing to sell your company? He has his A, his B, his 10, his 46, which is solar, and he has his roofing. It's everything that you need because they're general contractors for La Cresta. They build homes. Bear Mountain, they'll come and grade them, build you a home. Well, she's like, maybe, question mark. And I'm like, well, here's my LinkedIn, here's my website, and here's my Instagram. Because that's, it's the marketing thing that Alan did on his class. BAM, right? It's branding, advertising, and marketing. So I have that part down. And so they looked at my stuff, and the owner called me. He's like, I just had to call and see if you were real. Like, you actually do this stuff? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I want to bring you up to my house and to discuss these details. And they want to partner, is what they want to. What that conversation ended up being. They want a partnership. They want to bring their knowledge in with mine, which is home batteries systems, right? The newer technology. They're used to working with 20-year-old technology. I've played with all of it for the last 20 years. Now I know all the newer stuff. Yeah, that's kind of where the conversation's at right now with these people. They want to partner with me, I guess, is me and my other business partner. I call my business partner is my other electrician that I've been working with for a long time. So
now you're in a position where everybody's trying to call you and send you business then.
yeah.
So I would say this, because and then I'm going to speak to my experience. When we were building our real estate company, it was like that. It was like drinking out of a fire hose, and it was just my partner and I, right?
Yeah.
So we literally, we did what you are afraid of. We actually stopped the growth. Right, we literally said like, no, we cannot hire any more people. I don't want to hire any more people. My capacity is limited. Tim knows. How many agents do you work with in your network, Tim? Like
Over 200.
Over 200, right? So like those are people that you deal with sending transactions every once in a while. The people that we would hire is people that we deal with every single day with every single product.
Every problem, every question.
Right. So we had to like stop it, and then we kind of went back to build it, and then we said, well, what if we would have just built it up front? But then we went through the whole thing, and we realized we were missing one thing. We were missing standards. We were missing standards, and like because we were just bringing in whoever,
Right.
and we just saw the dollar signs, like, you're a new business, you're this, it's growing, everything's great, and you just see the dollar signs. That's what Tim said earlier, like his biggest win was like, I got to stick to my standard. So if you're already getting flooded with business, then maybe raise your standards a little bit so you can improve the quality of life.
Yeah.
Because then if not, you're just gonna be
Damn, that's good.
I just actually took that.
Raise the price, dude.
Exactly.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. So I advertise as high end. I'm not a handyman at
Right.
all. Like my experience, like I can handle stuff what he's doing.
Right.
Like I'm comfortable talking about it.
Right.
But I'm not. I know where my pricing at. I am not the middle. I'm like up, like.
And
I'm
you're still getting
high-end.
flooded with business.
So
Still
go
getting
hire.
flooded
Hey
with-
man, start hiring people. You better start coming. You better start getting some videos.
I like that hire. I mean that hiring thing. Like,
I love it. That was
great
great.
video.
I love it. That was great.
So.
Thank you.
Better jump on the videos then.
It's a good place to be at.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's one of two things. It's like You could either be in like how we're in it, like okay, like we got to get 1,000 people in it. So what that does, it creates urgency, right? No one here is gonna fold. If anything, it causes the creativity to happen. And in this business partnership, this is why I'm a big fan of the mastermind. Create business partnerships amongst each other. He's a reverse engineer type of person. Okay, so what's the goal? Boom. Okay, that means that we have to get 5,000 X amount of tickets on a daily. For me, I think, okay, well, what's a creative way to get there? Okay, well, if I make 10 calls an hour, each conversation could be a 20, 30, 40-minute conversation. So now I'm not making calls. How about I just text all the IE Mastermind members, hey, do me a solid. Can you post and tag the Infinite Growth Expert, the IE Mastermind, bringing in so much attention, and then that kind of starts filtering out the process. So business partnerships is very good. The DISC personality. How many of you guys know the DISC personality? So I am wired to read people, and then I speak to them in their language. So the DIs, we operate like very at this pace, right? So working together, it makes things a lot easier because one of us gets the creative ideas, the other one systems, implementation, and then boom. In your situation, you have so much business that it's like, wow, you know? So now you get to solve that creatively, and because now you're in a place that like, wow, you're about to scale it to the next level.
Yeah.
You are the elite of the elite with your price point. Now you get to be the standard, like he said, of excellence of look how much business you could actually take on, you know. So don't be scared of change too, because now your lifestyle's gonna have to change. All of a sudden, hey, the time you spend with your wife and kids, maybe it's not 5 days out of the week. One designated day. Friday is date night for him, specifically to his wife, and then on Sunday, you know. And one thing that he did do that he did not mention is, I believe he said he had like 8 people seeking counsel, right? Specifically like a pastor on the business, etc. So when he has 8 people pouring onto his cup, that's a mastermind in itself. But if I talk to you faith-based biblically, that's called having elders and counsel. You know, if I talk to you about just business, hey, get a board of advisors. So it's a good place because you get to solve a high-level problem. Enjoy the process.
Essentially, one mistake that I did when I was younger in business is I went out looking for partners. And sometimes the partner, it's like a marriage. Can you marry this person? Because eventually that's what it's going to get locked into. So you filter all those things out, because sometimes trying to look for a Prince Charming, we kiss a lot of frogs. You know what I mean?
One thing,
I've never heard it in business, so it's funny.
one thing that may or may not apply, but let's say that that partnership doesn't work out. One thing that Ryan Rock mentioned a couple times ago in Rancho is, if you're expanding the same industry, you can actually buy a business no money down in your same industry. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
Sparked that idea. I'm like, oh, I could just buy this company with his licenses. Like, that's how it. They don't want to do that. Like, they would rather, like, they want to try me out, is what they're saying. So one day we're gonna go meet and we're looking at a project. We're gonna help
Or you
retrofit
can
it.
create pretty much in those 20 years that you have experience, laser focus on mastery. Instead of growing like exponentially, focus your growth on certain things to create a huge impact by courses or selling that information, the reputation that you have to preserve, that reputation you worked hard for 20 years. And that would be mostly productive for you. Because you
teaching other people to do what you do.
Well, I like the mentoring part of it. In apprenticeship, like that's what electrical is. Like I didn't know anything when I first started. Someone taught me.
You must be alright. The guy next to you used
because
to work with you, and now he's talking about billion-dollar company. You must be alright.
You'll be the product by itself. You as a person will be the product. So your service, you're the product. So people will be attract more to you like a magnet.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Because there's people that would pay top dollar to have your solution. If you have not heard Alex Hormozy, read $100 million leads. So originally he was his business model was flying out to these gyms, paying out of pocket, building these gyms. And when he realized that he could have either owned ownership of each gym or just paid the course, here you go. Well, his first sale was for $5,000, and it was a gym owner that he says he doesn't need help closing. He just needs people walking in. you have a solution, you know, what is it that you're doing that you could teach people to bring in the type of business
Oh,
that
yeah,
you're
that's
doing?
true.
And
you know?
social media helps a
So,
lot.
perspective drives performance. Sometimes trying to solve certain things isn't
Mhm.
going to work. God ministered to me plenty of times. The same lesson just happened to me yesterday. I was trying to stay away from caffeinated drinks, and I was like, "Where's my non-caffeinated powder that my chiropractor said?" Man, I couldn't find it, and I said, and I taught this one, man. If you could call on Jesus for in Jesus' name to find a pen that's so significant, what can't you call on His name? So I said, God, I couldn't even finish it. I looked down and it was like right there next to the fridge. I was like, what? I was reminded, perspective. Sometimes we look at problems like this. You got to have like a heavenly perspective, bro, from above, you know? See all the moving pieces, but good stuff. Congratulations on having too much business.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Brother.
I think for me, when the market shifted in real estate, like we were forced to cut the fat, dude. Like in the real estate industry, or maybe a lot of people, and myself included, like we get comfortable, we sign up for all these things, we freaking aren't watching the dollars and cents coming in and going out because like it's coming in so fast, you're not really worried about it. But then when the faucet shuts off, dude, you're like, shit, like we got to cut the fat. So we basically changed our whole entire company, and we went from having like a total of 7 employees to like literally 2. But now we've gotten to the point where we have 3 employees, and we're doing more business than we were doing. Well, actually, no, that's not true. We're fielding more leads than we were fielding before when we had all those other people. And I see the writing on the wall that things are going to get busier, and there's going to be more leads, and there's going to be more stuff happening.
Yeah.
So now, like, what I'm going to ask for from you guys is I need to start figuring out how to, because I've started doing a lot of things that I wasn't doing before when I had all those other employees. Like, I was just basically out selling. So how do you, and this is kind of directed from what you said, like, how do you figure out the things that you should maybe have other people do? Like, what is there something you did over a certain amount of time to figure that out, or is it a book, or what?
It's just a matter of, for example, I used to waste a lot of time calling in permits, pulling permits, and that's something that I could delegate to somebody because it's all internet. So I wasted a lot of time on that versus actually getting and working on bids.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is work on numbers, work on bids, sell. So I was wasting a lot of time on that little stuff that if I can give them away, because the project's already won, I just need to close them. I just need to finish them, and that was it. Or pull permit, which the job's already won, so I just need to expedite it. So I think the little stuff like that, and setting up hotels for the guys. Like I used to waste my time doing that because sometimes my guys go out of town. So setting up hotels, or setting up their training, their OSHA trainings or their certifications. All that was wasted time that I didn't need to waste time on. So I started delegating.
How did
that
you
stuff.
whittle it down, though? Did you like sit there and write out everything that you do, or like you just
I
noticed
wrote
that over time and you like just create a little list or something? Or?
Yeah, I wrote it down, and then I created. I started noticing, like, what am I really wasting time? Because all the bids that I had was still just keep piling up, and I wasn't getting anywhere with them because I was so focused on the little stuff. And driving out to customers, like going out to bid. So I just started having them send me the plans, and I was trying to save that time where I could work on the bids because I have different applications where I upload to a server, and I could do all my takeoffs based on
Like Bluebeam or
yeah,
Procore.
exactly. So I was doing that now. So
How long did it take you to like make that transition?
I would say probably a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Just
pretty
'cause
quick, really.
Yeah, because I was just getting tired. Like I just hired the VA from Palacios, So and then I'm gonna actually expand that to where I can get a estimating system going too.
That's cool.
So
My brain's just seeing that what's coming, the distance, like, so I'm starting to just think of those things, like, we're gonna need more help, but
I'll tell my version of that because I was wearing like 12 different hats. I think I actually counted how many hats I was wearing at one point. Like, I was like, I'm wearing 12 different things. And then I discovered this by accident. So by no means what am I saying is like I came up with on my own. It was by complete. I hired an office manager, right? I was gonna say, don't record this. This is like top secret right here. So here's what I realized. I hired an office manager and happened to be one of the agents. And originally I brought her on as a VA. I said, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna call her, you're gonna do this because I hate calling, right? And in real estate, calling is, you know, key. So she completely sucked at it. Like, she sucked at it. I was like, oh my gosh. So then I was like, well, you know, help me sort these files through. Like, just help me do some compliance stuff just to justify the cost of what I'm giving you. And she ended up being the best